Again, big lack of jungle bans so far, Raafaa. I feel like a lot of the strong jungle are still on the table. Of course, Jarvan taken away on blue side. I do like that. I think that if you pick Jarvan early, you get 5 picks to get out of Cataclysm. That can be kind of tough. But also, if your plan is to first pick Lulu, banning Jarvan makes a lot more sense, as NIP potentially posturing for that Yunara Lulu lane, one that I'm curious to see if Top Esports denies.
And there's no Nocturne to pair with this Orianna for a nice Shockwave ball delivery combo. No Vi available. The next best 2 junglers on the patch are still things like the Xin Zhao as well as the Pantheon.
Wow. I mean, Orianna, it's still most banned champ, Raafaa. I guess it's kind of surprising that one slipped through. I think Xin Zhao is the best combo left, if you just want to throw the ball and go in. It's not Nocturne, Orianna, or Jarvan Orianna levels, but Xin can still get in there, get involved as...
Whoa.
Okay, JiaQi with Ezreal.
Walking.
Saw some nice buffs.
Were they even in danger of losing Ezreal to NIP? Because that's not a common pairing with Lulu. So Top Esports, they're not scared of losing any junglers over to Guwon early in this first 3-pick rotation. They're just trying to secure, I guess, a safe bot lane for JiaQi Love going into this core. Now,
I think we're gonna Bard now.
Yeah, Yunara and Azir locked in for NIP.
I mean, you could go Bard, Nautilus, and then maybe Nico, which you throw 3 picks around in case you want to drop support for jungle here. Because I do think that taking something like Xin or Vi into Azir or Yunara can be valuable. Again, Vi sees an assist. That is one way to get Shockwave back there, even if you kind of knock people out of the way on your way in. That said, I mean, Shockwave... A lot easier to hit Shockwave when people are already stuck in place thanks to a Pop Blossom that might come out from Fengyue. So, going to be locked in. Sion taken away. Definitely a meatball for Hoya. Probably wanted, given that you have Lulu. And plenty of damage already showing between Azir and Yunara. So, I do like the Sion ban.
The Fury is a good shout from NIP because that, unironically, is a really nice ball delivery system as well. You can just kind of, even if they're all bunched up, you just... ult in with the ball on top of you, and that's a guaranteed Shockwave carrier. But
I would have preferred other bans. I think you can punish Nefuri. We'll see what jungler the NIP wants, though. If they want a Vi, which is Guwon's most played.
Trundle ban.
Okay, that's okay. They want Xin.
That's protecting the Xin Zhao pickup here for Top Esports, since Trundle does kind of mog him early on.
Yeah, I think that's Xin. So... expected Xin Zhao lock in here for Tian. I think that you just throw down Vi as Guwon and call it a night.
You can.
You can get through. Oh, it's banned. Oh, I'm blind. I mean, Pantheon's still on the board, but I don't think Pantheon Lulu is the best in terms of abuse. Like, that's another thing that Zin's and Ice deny away from Lulu as well.
I mean, if you want to get creative, Jax jungle historically has been a nice matchup into the Xin. You don't get nearly as much early proactivity as the Xin Zhao does, but it's like okay. The last time Guwon played into a Xin Zhao on Summoner's Rift, he went with the Shyvana. I'm not sure if I would be the strongest advocate for it in this game, but I'm just saying.
You know what I want here, Raafaa?
What?
Sejuani. Just have Sejuani Renekton be strong. I know it's not the best pick out of the jungle right now, but it would be a good bridge.
It's not committal engage. Oh my goodness. Woo! Shyvana,
he's still doing it.
Oh boy.
We did not need more damage as NIP.
I get to cast my first Shyvana game. I've been waiting. When I saw this locked in against IG, I was so upset that I was not on the series. I've been spamming her. She is incredibly strong right now. Obviously, solo queue is a different environment than it is in competitive play, and with the Zhuo Vayne lock-in into the Renekton, oh boy, Hoya is going to need a lot of help to survive in this laning phase.
I mean, I know that some of the better, more meta matchups against Renekton weren't on the board. I get a little bit worried, though, about the Vayne. I know that this can be like a late-game checkmate, but the fear from Shyvana into a lot of the tools that NIP can then use to chain up or find the Vayne is one that's a little bit dangerous. And I'm just kind of curious, like, was Vayne necessary this game? Because I think that playing into Yunara as Vayne can be a bit tricky with how much damage she gets out that quickly. That said, I guess a late game checkmate from Top Esports, I think we're in another game where I'm not exactly sure how this comp's going to work or function for top. You're critical of their lack of hard engage this time. That's fixed as you have Nico Oriana with Pop Blossom in the Shockwave, hopefully. You have Xin Zhao to try and combo too. I think the idea is that the openings to these fights are so big for top esports that they can kind of allow for the carries to run rampant later on. But I feel like Vayne was not necessary there. I would have preferred to make things less volatile than more volatile on the side of top esports.
Coach Cubby here, preferring a little bit more stability in the composition since game 1 was already a pretty volatile comp from top esports and it didn't work out. We didn't necessarily highlight it, but I think we both assumed that top esports were going to try to go back to basics and just make sure that they can put a W in this column. But Ninjas in Pyjamas, we'll see if they can make the Shyvana work this time around as we head to Summoner's Rift for game 2.
You know, if Varus was up, Raafaa, we could have just picked 3 champs who abuse having more magic damage on the patch. Xin Zhao and Ezreal, and I guess not exactly Varus, but I would have preferred Varus this game. Might have indexed you a little bit too much into magic damage, but again, I feel like Varus makes things a little bit calmer than a Vayne does.
You at least have an ultimate that says, okay, even if I fall behind in lane, I can offer some utility.
Not completely.
But you don't
useless.
think the condemn from Zhuo after flashing forward isn't gonna win you the game?
I like the after flashing forward though. That's nice. Okay, so we prefer the top esports comp early and let. Okay, well, we're not gonna waste our time fighting the AI this time around.
Don't analyze it. Don't think about it.
It's thinking about that usually gives me headaches.
There you go. Well, here's something that will not give us a headache, is that jungle pathing seems to be a lot more stable and a lot less volatile since both of our junglers started on the red side camps. No early invades, as Guwon on the Shyvana. Unless you're running like lethal tempo, you don't want to take an extended trade against Xin Zhao. However, Tien, after clearing his red side camps, wants to go for the invade. He's spotted on this ward, so Guwon knows, and he's pulling the wolves defensively.
So, I mean, Tien's going to see a camp be up, and he's going to get a win here. This is exactly what happened the last time we saw the Guwon Shyvana, right? Which is Xin Zhao gets an early red buff and goes to get involved.
Nicely done by Guwon. He knows that he can hug that wall to get outside of that vision cone range. Unless they were very intent on looking at the jungle pet passing by, there's no concept of knowing that Guwon for sure is on the blue buff. Care might be in trouble. Flashes the wind, becomes lightning.
Still has to run, though. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Tien delays the base a little bit here. He's going to make sure that Creme gets out. And yeah, I mean, he wants to get the bot crab. That's the priority crab. So Guwon, again, getting a lot of info. Tien's going to get the bad news that his blue buff's already gone away. And now he might go hunt Guwon. As Guwon's trying to base, see if he gets it out.
No, he's not going to make it out. He's not going to make it out.
He's got a level
4. He's got to fight to the death before everyone else gets here. Tien just needs to space this out. Level 4, Guwon is favored in the 1v1, but Guwon...
It's not a 1v1, I fear.
Nope, it is no longer a 1v1. That's First Blood going over to top esports, and Creme is the receiver of the kill credit.
Round 2 of the Shyvana experiment. Not going that well to start things off. Let's see if Guwon can turn this one around. Raafaa, you said you hadn't put in a lot of time into this champ. What's the build going to be for Guwon this game?
Well, so I gave Gordo and Gebetto the whole layout of what the Shyvana builds are, and Guwon went none of them. I was flabbergasted by the build. So I can tell you that Trinity Force Shojin has been the most popular build, and it's like a very common like Conqueror 80 Bruiser with Q max and W max. There's also been like E max builds with like Shojin and full AP, but Guwon went Hexplate into Dusk and Dawn into Rocket Belt. And I felt my soul die on the inside when I saw the Rocket Belt being built third. So
yeah,
I hope Guwon just keeps it a little bit more. I don't mind the Hexplate for what it's worth, because the ultimate ability haste does work with her Fury generation, but just commit to like 80 bruiser if you're gonna go hexblade.
Let's not see the rocket belt. How about we just agree
Yes.
on that? Yeah.
Yes,
Let's not
absolutely.
see that one emerge again. I would prefer that world, but yeah, I expect the hexblade first here, as we will see. I mean, the big thing about Shyvana is I think if Guwon does get access to 6, in the changes they made, you get that fear now when you ult in. I could really see Vayne having issue with that. And kind of one of the reasons why this Vayne pick for me makes things a little bit, I would say, too volatile for my liking. Just because, again, if Guwon is able to get involved and get on top of Vayne, what you can do to chain that fear together with more is quite a bit. As speaking of Vayne, there's a gluttonous Greaves on my screen, Raafaa.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a little disappointed. I do not know what to say about this. So these boots, I know solo queue wise, the stats are good. They are very strong. Solo queue and comp play is not the same game, folks. We have a lot less kills played in competitive play here than we do. And I mean, Vayne as a champion, it definitely doesn't benefit from something like Berserker Greaves and getting more attack speed. That's, you know, more W procs, definitely not the entire reason we're picking this champion.
I think you missed the /S at the end of that speech there, Matt.
I thought I made it more obvious than needing a /S personally.
You know, that's fair. Just in case anyone could not catch on the drift. Shockwave clips Care, and Guwon is trying to back up Care so that he can push in this wave, but level 5 Shyvana doesn't really have a lot of firepower in terms of gank setup and utility, so Care is just forced to ditch the wave, and NIP do not have priority for this first dragon. TN wants to invade and try and challenge Guwon on these camps again.
It's been a couple of nice early bases here for Creme as he forced Care out again, and now, fight, Guwon being found. And the camp taken away.
Oh, TN now hits level 6, and Guwon cannot contest for any further camps. TN is going to be able to steal away everything now.
You know, Shyvana Lulu could work. Like, you know, I can see you dash in, you get the wild growth, attack speed buff, maybe even that too, but we're not seeing it work.
Barrier popped by JiaQi. True shot barrage on the 2. Oh boy, Fengyue and JiaQi once again getting the better end of Assum and Zhuo. And Guwon stayed too long, trying to contest TN on the red. Still did not have access to level 6. Hoya now in a 1v1 battle to the death against Weion's Vayne. Who's gonna win? It's Weion with the Vayne.
Well, game 3 on the menu is kind of what I'm feeling. I just really, I mean, I know I spent some time talking about the Vayne pick. We haven't seen the Shyvana pick work yet. It just doesn't feel like you're strong enough early on. And the thing that I don't get about Shyvana this game, it was Azir, Yunara, Lulu. You don't need more late game as NIP. I feel like this Shyvana pick, we're allowing ourselves to fall in this deficit harder early because we didn't draft a winning mid lane matchup and we didn't draft a winning bot lane matchup. We drafted for scaling. So when you take a scaling jungler on top of all that too, Raafaa, it's sometimes things get a little bit ugly, a little bit out of control, and I feel like that's the world we're in right now.
That, or you just have to drop ego on the camps that you cannot contest for reasonably, right? I mean,
well, that would help
these
too.
topside camps.
Yeah.
There's just been a lot of times where they're fighting for camps and trying to hands check or just see if, like, oh, am I better than this guy? And then they find out, I guess I'm not better. But Guwon does hit level 6. This is a strong point of power. They rotated their bot lane over to the top side of the map. We'll get a look at the replay at this domination from JiaQi and Fengyue once again.
It was a beautiful route from Fengyue. Sets up for an easy true shot barrage by JiaQi, and yeah, not much more else to be said, as that was a little bit too easy for the bot lane to top Esports. And then this is the one I'm a little bit curious about, as was the second E not cast by Hoya? No, it was. I mean, he hits everything. He just, oh, that Q misses. That was the difference. Nice flash by Zhuo, as that was the difference. That call to make hits. Maybe this 1v1 goes differently. I said it doesn't. Zhuo finds the win. Now, going to be under attack.
TP topside. They're trying to attack this Vayne and prevent her from getting any more stacks or any more gold for herself. And she is separated from TN's Xin Zhao, so she does not get bailed out this time around.
I would have liked a world where maybe we saw Care pick up the bot lane, because the expense of this play is that Assum and Zhuo stayed. Now they're going to be the ones to base, not the Renekton. So this Yunara falling quite far behind from this sequence, Raafaa. But
Let's see how this breaks out.
all right, so post grubs, just Yunara ripping it. And, oh, I think we missed a kill on a Fengyue. He's trying to connect and got feared in. Well played by Guwon. Again, you want to cast that ult to get behind them so that you can get the fear to push them away. Well played. So, all right. I mean, good punish by NIP. They got something.
Yeah. What we have this time, since we already know what happens here, I want to advocate more for Giovanna. Obviously, like, early on, she doesn't have the CC and the setup that other skirmishing junglers have. Her numbers are just really good. And if you are able to build Q-Max and do this kind of AD Bruiser style, you can go 1v1 against some of these other junglers. But it's all about understanding when you can fight, when you can't, and when you have to just give things up. And Guwon has been a little bit more greedy on some of these plays, but does get his first kill of the game. Hexplate Rush has been acquired, so we'll have access to these Dragon's Descent a lot more often, which is, quite frankly, one of their best engaged tools this game, even if it is very risky to send your Shyvana first into the top esports backline here.
I mean, you got Lulu to help, so they're really trying to empower this pick. Again, I'm kind of surprised they took it in this game. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
Fear, well played. Good find onto Creme. Doesn't react flash and pays the price.
Hoya 1v1 against Wei again. This time there is no flash from Vayne, but pops the ghost, and Hoya tries to run for the hills immediately. There's no flash on this Renekton. Hoya losing a lot of HP, waits for him to get into the bush. He's gonna use the Ruthless Predator. Oh, he's got backup. Wild Growth right on top, and Zhuo fell for the trap. Hoya gets the better end this time around.
I mean, really nice bait, but kind of head scratching a little bit by Zhuo, as again, this Vayne pick, we talked about it and how it's making things a little bit more volatile. I think between the Gluttonous Greaves and going for the 1v1 that far in, well played by Hoya, well played by NIP, but Top Esports have given quite a few plays and ways back into this game, if you're thinking about it from NIP's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, a few minutes ago, when it was like
we called it GG.
2 kills on bot side. Yeah, we called it GG. There's 2 kills on bot, there's a kill in jungle, and there's a solo kill on top. It was a 3.5k gold lead a few minutes ago. That's like game losing right there. And now Top Esports have lost 1,000 of that gold lead effectively in the past couple of minutes.
I mean, not just that, but a lot of momentum in the game. Like, you do get to the point where, as Renekton versus Vayne, and Zhuo's died twice, if you get an earlier item breakpoint as Renekton, you can munch the Vayne. I really feel like that's what they might be trying to do if they were going to go for a... Yeah, oh, I mean, again, Hoya, he's playing with it.
Care does not have TP, neither does Creme. Zhuo dangerously close to the bush. Oh boy! And Zhuo was trying to flash forward to see if he can get the polymorph of the Wild Growth right on top. There's no Wild Growth available. Hoya is just able to make the dive by himself.
200
Tien
gold.
is looking for Dragon, and Hoya doesn't die to the True Shot Barrage.
He's going down.
He will die to JiaQi Love as he shifts on forward, and Hoya will just try and buy some time.
No execute for Hoya. So going to be kills traded, Dragon taken overall in the long run, but still... I appreciate some of the angles we're seeing out of NIP, and this is where the Vayne pick, again, said could make the game more volatile. We have kind of seen this Vayne pick with the lead that Top Esports had. That has been the focus for NIP. They've tried to punish it and get themselves back into this game. Still, it's Top Esports that are going to be up and continuing to win harder. But, again, I didn't feel like Vayne was necessary in this game. And I think that there are some struggles that it can have later on. Like the amount of DPS that comes out of Yunara, Azir, plus Lulu. I mean, if Zhuo has any missteps in these fights, we've already seen missteps be punished, but just how quickly these champions can DPS with Lulu behind them helping, I think can be really dangerous for squishy champions.
I mean, this is once again a champion that it's strong in a counterpick scenario, but whenever I see these champions locked in, I prefer to see a lot more resources from the team being kind of invested into making sure that it doesn't get put behind or it doesn't get attacked. It's been my gripe for whenever the rest of the world is picking things like Vayne and they just leave it to their own devices, assuming, oh, okay, well, we got the Vayne, so we just win lane, right? And it's like, well, what if the jungler comes? What if the mid laner comes? What if their support comes? And we have seen all iterations of that over the past few minutes now. So Top Esports working with a slightly decelerated Vayne pick, despite still being ahead in gold, not necessarily ahead of where the game is currently in favor of Top Esports and where she should be on the map. We've got 10 seconds, though, before Rift Herald spawns, 3 minutes until another dragon, and Top Esports, at least for their sake, are dragon stacking.
Yeah, I do think that in terms of game scaling, I know Vayne's that late game, you know, potentially breaker of a piece, but I like NIP scaling, just given they have the Lulu versus the Nico. I do think that in a lot of these games as Nico, you need to make sure you blow up these games early. If not, enemy teams can kind of bounce back into the game with these Enchantress picks. And the fact that this 3k gold deficit has stabilized, it really has since things just went completely Top Esports' way 10 minutes ago. They can keep on stabilizing that. I mean, I expect Top to get this Rift. I expect Top to still really push the pace of the game.
Guwon takes more than 50% of his HP as a chunk.
Goodbye, Rift.
I can appreciate. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Vayne.
Guwon was trying to restrain using the ultimate there, as Hoya now looks for the all-in against Zhuo. Level disadvantage from Hoya's Renekton, but Guwon is here. If he can just land the fear, there's no flash on this Vayne, and yep, Vayne's got nowhere else to run. Their play is the Rift Herald, and NIP's response is destroy this Vayne again.
You know, the Shy wasn't an alum at Top Esports, but we're getting to the point where I feel like we might be honoring the Shy. Did we need the Vayne this game? No. Is the Vayne 1-4? Yes. This is starting now. If there is a sick outplay later on, or maybe just within the series, because that would be a very the Shy thing. Like, make sure you play a map like full doo-doo, and then you come back and you hero mode 1v9.
I mean, Peak the Shy would be able to take these matchups. He would be able to die, and they would still be good deaths. I think that was always my favorite stat.
True, these have not been good deaths.
No, unfortunately not for Zhuo.
Well, you know, at least results-based analysis bias for me. I'm watching Gluttonous Greaves get punished. That's a positive.
There's a reason why this item is only good in a volatile solo queue environment where you are more likely to get a random amount of takedowns and fully stack it up. And it's being nerfed next patch. So if you thought that it was like even okay to build competitive, there's no way that you can reasonably think that it's going to now
just not
ever
on this
be good.
champion. I feel like you need... I understand the Rise more than this, which I know Rise Gluttonous Greaves broke the brains of a lot of people. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but that's also like mid lane, tier 3 boots.
Yeah.
So a little different scenario there. Top Esports, though, despite the Vayne being somewhat attacked a lot this game, they are still very strong through the power of JiaQi Loves Ezreal having a strong start. More than 40 CS above Assum's Yunara. Around 2,000 gold ahead in just the individual matchup, and it is enough for Top Esports to just brute force this dragon without any challenge from the side of Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, this dragon was being given for the last couple minutes. We saw NIP playing hard to get care plates on the top side, which he was able to secure. Did knock down the turret, but I feel like this was objective that was signed up to being given away for a while for NIP, so game going to come down to that Chem Soul if they can stop it. And tools in place in order to do so. I think the next big item we have to keep our eyes out for is that Dusk and Dawn, because it really is an item that while you're building it, it is kind of a random assortment of lost parts that don't really give you a lot of power until they come together. And then you get a lot of power off of it.
Yep. Definitely a lot better as a AP bruiser item, especially with the changes to getting on-hit healing from it. The ability haste is super nice, especially for Shyvana as well. I'm still would have preferred more of a AD bruiser focused build because I feel like shield max second is so strong, especially into compositions that are trying to have a lot of burst on you, especially with this Orianna. But Guwon This is the second time running this specific build.
He's got it.
For the benefit of the doubt, for NIP fans, we're going to assume that he has done the math, and for him, he feels like this is the best iteration.
He's got it. I mean, at least he's got
Just
the dust
don't
and
do
dawn.
Rocket Belt. Just don't do Rocket Belt third. I
would like to not see that as well.
I beg, Guwon.
I mean, we'll see if it's worth it, though. Again, this is a spike secured for the Shyvana, but at a cost. I mean, Tien's got a full level. He's very far ahead in camps, and he's been the Xin Zhao that's been able to throw his weight around for the majority of the game. So I think that's why we're not seeing a lot of these jungle picks that are good in solo queue or can come through. It's not a lot of good AD mids to pair with it, and also you aren't online as fast. And we've really seen the importance of being online quickly for these junglers. That really is kind of, for me, defining the meta. Because it's rare for me that we have a pool be as boring as jungle has been for really the entirety of the year. Where it feels like if you are not abusing the fighter items, we just are not seeing you in competitive play right now.
Mm-hmm. Southern Sky and Black Cleaver are pretty damn good. And the rest of the ensemble is also just so strong as well. Top Esports trying to see if they can establish some vision control in this top side Barren River. The only pink that they have is on their side of the jungle quadrant.
We're hitting this.
Dude, Hoya is just standing there menacingly. He has no vision. Pops the Dominus, holds the front door for a little bit, but he gets knocked up by the 3-talent strike, absorbs a lot of damage, flashes over the wall. But we're only at 9,000 HP on the Baron, and NIP no longer can take this objective.
I don't even know they can take the crab. Okay, they will get the crab, but optimistic pull from NIP.
Cheeky ward there. JiaQi Love able to stall some of the tempo on NIP's base here. Baron pull really could have only worked at that window. Now we're 2 minutes away from Chemtech Soul being potentially claimed by Top Esports. So now Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to have to not only set up vision on this bottom side river now, but they also need time for Guwon to let this dragon form die out and then be able to regain all the fury on top of it as well. Oh no. Assum? Is he in trouble? Okay.
Oh, that's Transcendence.
He ults and E's.
Cooldown used. I think he's going to have that back in time, as he does have access to the quick autos and faster ultimate coming back up from his own itemization. But it will give Top Esports a lot more time to try and control this bot side river, as we are a minute 10 away from the Chem Soul spawning for Top Esports. Fourth dragon of the game. Fourth dragon with the potential to be secured for top. And we've seen a few plays from NIP where it is Guwon ulting in, gets the fear off the Shyvana. We haven't really seen the combos yet, Raafaa, but we're going to need to start seeing them now. Because they don't come through now. They're going to be staring down a Chem Souled up Top Esports, and that's not going to make the game any easier.
It will be a lot easier for Guwon to get these multi-man fears off in small corridors where that large Dragon's Descent can take advantage of Top Esports trying to corral their way and brute force their way back into the river. In open space, it's a lot harder to do, especially given how mobile some of these champions are from Top Esports' side. So love that NIP are here early. They're trying to set up vision. There is 2 wards behind the Dragon Pit. I don't think there's going to be any flank teleports going on, but it is something to consider.
We've already seen crazier things from Zhuo on this game, so who knows. Shojin completed for JiaQi Love this.
Oh boy, Assum already needs the wild growth, and the True Shot Barrage chunks him out of the fight. And I do not have an AD carry for this. And the Pop Blossom Flash finds the dragon and slays her where she stands. Top Esports will be guaranteed a Chemtech Soul.
I mean, honestly, just kind of a bummer game from NIP. I really feel like both games, we identified pretty quickly that each team is playing a bit of a unique draft, Raafaa. I just think that if this pick is anything but Shyvana, this game gets so much easier for NIP. I feel like Shyvana is my argument that I have for Wukong at the moment, where Wukong really needs the help of some winning lanes to take advantage of the fact that he isn't going for the fighter items. And that's a far less extreme example than what Shyvana can bring to the table. And we just didn't see Guwon make the plays necessary to really...
They want to see if they can at least try and flip for this Baron, but Care gets snagged by the tangled barbs. Ninjas in Pyjamas at least wanted to make an effort and not just let the game slip away from their fingers, but Assum might just get ran down by Zhuo's Vayne, who is finally starting to get some pop-offs on these gluttonous green stacks. And Top Esports, not the cleanest Vayne play we've seen from Zhuo on this split, but results-based analysis will say that this was another exceptional Vayne champion.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-0 Vayne on the year for Zoyan. Again, like, I feel like if you have Pantheon in the game, how easy is it to punish Vayne in the side lane, or how easy is it to go make plays? And this is a bot lane that was put ahead by good laning from top. Also a visit from Tien that wasn't contested. And at what JiaQi and Fengyue have done to run with that, it's been quite nice. We teased it was a Spirit Shoji completed on the Ezreal coming into this fight. And boy, did JiaQi make them feel the brunt of that pain as it continues on the Rift for NIP.
And Top Esports finding another pick, this time onto a big old crocodile. They picked up some leather boots and a belt to match for their troubles. Chemtech Soul, 8,000 gold ahead. Top Esports are just moments away from being able to even up the series and send us to a game 3. And I think a bigger conversation that needs to be had, Matt, it's not just that the jungle pick was not necessarily ideal for NIP in terms of what they can set up on side lanes, but even in the game 1 loss, Top Esports still have had a better bot lane performance from JiaQi and Fengyue over Assum and Zhuo in both of our 2v2s. And I think that just needs to be really examined for this game 3 from NIP if they want a chance. They cannot leave Assum and Zhuo on a 2v2 island again because they're just getting bodied and hands checked right now.
Yeah, I mean, this was a game where I feel like it's a JiaQi Pog when it's all said and done. Ezreal was granted a lead, and JiaQi has really made NIP feel the brunt of that.
Always a pleasure to see one of our best 80 carries and one of our most notable LPL stars take to Summoner's Rift and return to form. As Top Esports are about to put a final ribbon onto this game.
Hold on.
The Pop Blossom holds the door, and JiaQi is forced to now fight everything with he's got, but Tien and JiaQi are still alive, and despite best efforts from NIP to turn this game around, it is still a Top Esports win, and we're going to game 3.
It was a nice Shyvana Azir combo, and it's just Spirit came a little bit late in the game. Top Esports, they started this game up 5-0 with a 3.5k gold lead about 7 minutes in. It was tough treading for a couple minutes, but once they got control of this game, never really let up. And man, I mean, Tien, I feel like it's got to be a pog between him and JiaQi, likely JiaQi, but they really make that lead feel big. I mean, I think especially once JiaQi got that third item where this Ezreal really takes off, that's where JiaQi just never let up throughout the game.
Side tangent, and not the most important thing, but I saw the inventory from Guwon, and I saw finished Codex, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe he was building to Riftmaker. No. He had a freaking X-Tech Alternator. He was building another damn Proto Belt. Guwon, you are not allowed to play this champion anymore. You cannot be building Rocket Belt 3rd. Ain't no way that is good. I've seen Rocket Belt. I've seen Rocket Belt first item be okay, but that is for top lane Shyvana. Shout out to Merwin over in the LEC, because I think the W max into E max, kind of like run and gun with your flame breath and movement speed positioning with like full AP build. If Rocket Belt is your first item, because it's cheap and the ability haste you get on it at that point is really valuable. But as a third item, I just refuse to believe it is good. I refuse to believe it. It cannot
Mark,
be.
I appreciate your passion for what happens with this projected third item Shyvana. I'm a lot more concerned about what happened in the first 5 levels. The fact that we picked this champion and weren't able to contest early on. I mean, this is just...
That I can't control. That I can't control.
I feel like we could control both by not playing Shyvana and then also, you know, maybe having a bit of a better build for it.
I have to advocate and defend this champion that I have become a big fan of playing, and I have to sincerely believe it can be played to a better level. I have seen it played to a better level, and
yeah, it can.
I understand the competitive meta restrictions and what you want from your jungler to be able to do, but I just personally feel that the early decisions that Guwon made, they can be avoided, and you can play a less greedier game. And so that part is like whatever, and therefore I can kind of like forgive that and say like Shyvana is still good, just don't do that. But I'm banning this champion away if this is the build that he has come up with.
I would ban it for many other reasons, but I respect dropping the ban hammer anyway, Raafaa, as the Shyvana, you know, not having the impact that we needed it to have on this game. I feel like it was the wrong angle for it, and boy, do we feel JiaQi love's impact throughout that game, as he got a lot of work done in that one. And yeah, I feel like
the most important thing for this game is, once again, JiaQi Love and Fengyue destroyed bot lane, and there is no jungle interference. There is no jungle bailout from Guwon, and neither on, at least on the Nocturne, he was able to provide some relief that didn't necessarily stop JiaQi Love from being able to be ahead of the curve, but the rest of the map was able to play well enough that JiaQi Love's advantage did not matter. But Guwon could not bail out bot lane. Tien was playing through bot lane. I mean, this was a game that NIP would be known for their dominance earlier in the regular season, where your bot lane 2v2 is dominating. You have a jungle matchup that can at least provide relief to that, or at least play to that strong side of the map. And NIP are just not running that same formula, or top esports have been able to read them, and they are just now playing individually much better than they are.
I mean, I think, to be fair, the NIP formula of winning bot lanes, this Yunara pick has not been one that has really set up to be winning very often for NIP. Moves to 1-6 now on the split for NIP in terms of record, and Yunara definitely a champion that isn't as lane dominant as some of the other bot laners in the meta, so maybe that's a good angle for NIP Game 3, you know, trying to secure a winning bot lane, because you're right, top esports really to cash in that small lead that Tien granted them. They turned it into a really big one, and JiaQi have ran away with this game.
Unfortunately, the rest of the game is just incredibly hard when their bot lane is not only massively ahead, but you don't have the same level of dominance from Care and Hoya as they did in the first game. So a nice combo overall. Unfortunately, it was too late into the game to be made, and it just did not matter anymore. And the main target that would have been nice to have shut down in that sequence still survived through it all. And if it is not a JiaQi Love Pog, then we have lost all faith in yeah,
this one has to be a JiaQi Love Pog. The Hoya Pog was already you know, faith destroying for me. The lack of Hoya Pog, I should say. It was, there was not a lot of care put in the not giving Hoya the Pog and giving it to Care instead. But, you know, is what it is. I think JiaQi Love's going to do this one, and we'll see if top esports can make this a 2-1 for themselves. Of course, we have a game 3 coming up.
Boom.
Hopefully pretty soon after this. Is JiaQi Love Ezreal. Pretty good game start to finish for him.
I just want to make a mention here. So not only this cements the fact that JiaQi Love continuing his level of dominance after winning 80 carry of the week